Hello, everyone. Let me get my chat set up here. There we go. See if I can get a little more light in here. We did get our fan fixed finally, which is always good, but still don't have light bulbs. So at night, things can get a little dark. I'm sorry to say. It is what it is. The later I go live here, the better the time for you. Whoops. I'm going to get this in here. And there we go. As always, welcome to the live stream. I'll stay in here for as long as I can, but there are links down below. As most of you probably know, my book, Live in Cambodia, a guide for living in the Kingdom of Wonder, is almost done. It's going to be released next Friday. So Saturday night here, 6 more days, the book's going to be released. If you've already pre-ordered, I have your email addresses. They're all set to go out on that day. If you haven't pre-ordered, there are links down below for a donation of $10 or more. You can go to my site, Rubix.com, road to 1000.site or you can just go to the donate button. No matter which place you donate at, it's going to the same place. I'll get your email address because it's through PayPal. And then on Friday, the book will be delivered right into your inbox. There's also some more websites down there, including a link to my other channel and a link to my other blog. Hello, Tyler. Hey, thank you, man. Minnesota. You guys should, you're starting to get a little cold over there, eh? A little bit chilly. One thing I mentioned in a video I did earlier was how over here, locals consider it cold if it gets below like 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Sometimes early in the morning, starting around now through January and February, the night temperatures can actually get sometimes below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's funny seeing all the locals out here with big, heavy sweaters and big, thick jackets, mittens, hugging themselves because they're cold. And to me, coming from Michigan, that is just a nice spring day. Definitely shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flop weather, I think. Ooh, 29, wow. Oh, man. I didn't think it was that cold. That's pretty, it's kind of early, beginning of November. I haven't checked the weather forecast where I come from in Michigan yet, but I'm sure it's about the same. Snow's about to hit and hit hard, I think. Yeah, we were out earlier today. I just uploaded another video earlier today, a regular walking around video before I did my live stream. The last time I live streamed, I uploaded a regular video, like just an hour, I think an hour or an hour and a half before I went live. And I think people got notifications about the live stream, but they kind of missed the other video because I didn't even get 100 views on that other video. And I think that has something to do with putting it so close together to the live stream. So I'm trying to find a way to try to not do them in the same day. This one, I just spaced it out for 5-6 hours later. But that one didn't work out that well. I wish I had wings and I could migrate. Yes. I felt like that for many, many years back in Michigan before I moved here. It was really not a good place for me to live, considering how much I do not like the cold. I don't like getting bundled up. I don't like having to start my car to warm up. I don't like having to scrape ice off the windshield. I don't like having to shovel snow every time I walk somewhere or have to go somewhere. Sometimes it would get so bad I'd shovel snow so I could get my car out of the parking lot of the apartment building I lived in at the time. From the roads, they would plow the roads and all the snow would pile up in the entrance, so I would have to shovel that out to get my car out. I'd go to the store, maybe an hour later, I'd come back and they'd made another run. So before I could come back in, so I didn't get stuck, I would have to, of course, leave my car in the middle of the road with the hazard lights on, run up, grab a shovel, and do it all over again. I did not like that at all. That was horrible. But I took some of your suggestions. Well, I don't know about yours, but people have had suggested certain things they wanted to see in the book. I mentioned this in one of my videos. I took some of your suggestions. I added a couple sections, things I wasn't going to put in there initially. But I figure that's what you guys want to read about. And of course, you're buying the book, you're donating for education in Cambodia, getting a copy of the book. Least I can do is put that in. I spent the whole day a few days ago. That's all I did was knock out those two sections, just write the whole day. I didn't leave the apartment for anything, which is not normal for me. I like to go out at least once a day if I can. Sometimes that gets hard because I have my other online stuff to do and my other channel I got to make videos for. And there's some research involved in that at times. So yeah, I sat there and just knocked that out. I'm just working. I'm finishing up the resources section. It's going to be pretty good. I've got like a few of my favorite restaurants and websites, Facebook pages, and things you can go to and check out if you want. Of course, I got the numbers to the main electrical company here, so you can keep up with any scheduled electric outages. Sometimes they'll schedule those for like a certain day at a certain time in certain areas. And it's written in Khmer, but you can always have the page translated into English if you're using Google, or you can get a Khmer friend, I guess, to let you know what's going on. But I'm including that. Of course, I'm including we're going to include links to the U.S. Embassy, the I guess Great Britain Embassy, England Embassy, and probably the Australian Embassy, because those are the three main concentration of people that pre-ordered the book. Just so that you have that information handy. Hopefully you'll never need your embassy for any kind of emergency, but things do happen, and it's better to have that information than not have it. So that should all be, and after I'm done with that, then I'm going to spend a couple days editing it. I have a friend who's going to get a complete copy once I'm all done editing to go over it with a fresh set of eyes, see if there's anything I missed, or when I was editing, if I misspelled anything. He's going to give me his feedback. I'll take a day, fix anything he finds, and then on Friday, next Friday, it's ready to go out. So tell everybody they can pre-order from all them links down below. Copy them, spread them far and wide. After the book comes out for the pre-order, after the pre-order is done, I'm going to put the book on different platforms. So I'll actually have links that people can go to and purchase it through a third party, and they'll be able to download it immediately if they do that. And one of the sites, I don't know how it works yet. I'm going to figure that out after I'm done with the book. But one of the sites has a kind of an affiliate program where if you want friends or family or people to sell your book for you, you get a special link. And when somebody clicks that link, like regular affiliate marketing, somebody clicks that link with your unique affiliate ID, and they come to this platform and they purchase. So if you get the book and you like the book, and you think, wow, I think other people could benefit from the book, then let me know. And if I have your email address, I'll send you your link so you can make a buck or two every time somebody else buys it. That'll be about a week after the book comes out. I'll put it on other platforms. If anybody's into the weird kind of things, like the weird top 10 lists kind of stuff, that is going to be, oops, where's my chat? My chat just disappeared. I have no chat. Oh, where is it? Let me see here. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. All right. All right, there we go. But yeah, if you guys want if you guys into that weird kind of list, like 10 most interesting facts about this, 10 weird things about this, 10 strange, what the hell moments in this, or, those kind of things. That's what my next book is going to be about. I've already got quite a bit of it done. Still got a long way to go, but I got quite a bit of it done. These are all topics I've researched that I found that I'm really interested in. And each list of 10 things is not only going to be just facts, but I try to mix some humor in with it. And it's researched by me, written by me, with links to where I get some of my information should you want to look at pictures or watch video or find out more about that particular subject. And each small section will be about anywhere between 1,200 to 1,800 words. So it's going to be a pretty lengthy book once I'm all done. Because I go down rabbit holes, man, and I love those rabbit holes. I do. Unable to connect to chat. All right. Well, let me do this then. Yeah, I do love going down rabbit holes. Now, I'll just see something on the internet, and I'm thinking, well, that can't be the only weird thing, right? So then I'll do a quick search, and then I'll go to all these web pages. And then I'll say, okay, this one's kind of boring. Oh, but this one's interesting. So I'll click that link. And that, of course, leads me to some weird website where I have to click this link, try to explain what's going on this web page. And then pretty soon it's like, 2 hours later. And I found myself doing that just for my own entertainment. So I decided to start writing the things down that fascinated me, things that I didn't know. And that's why I decided to just make a book. Hello, Touch. Hello, Touch. So that's where the idea for that came out. But always be writing is what a wise person once said. Somebody, I've never called myself a writer. This is my second book. And like I said, I'm working on the third. I like the process of writing. I hate editing. I hate the process of editing. It just, whether it's making videos, as you know from watching my videos, I never edit anything. I don't put any fancy effects in there. I've experimented with those things in the past. So the biggest thing I have is just a cool intro that I download for free. Keep the watermark on it from the company because I don't really care. But to spice it up just a tad. but I don't really edit anything. And writing is no different. I hate editing. The process of writing and figuring out the structure and where to go. And I think that's because if you've noticed in my videos and on my live streams, I ramble a lot. Sometimes I get off topic, never go back on topic because my mind is always working ahead of what my mouth is saying. But when I write, I can control that somewhat because I can just go back up and read and say, oh, I never finished this thought. So I can get rid of this down here, finish my thought, and then, paste it back in at the appropriate time. So it helps calm my mind a little bit. I never considered myself a writer, but a lot of people are always asking, well, what makes a writer? What makes a person call themselves a writer? And I would simply say it's somebody who writes. If you like to write, you don't have to be Stephen King. You don't have to be Clive Barker, two of my favorites. You don't have to be John Grisham. You don't have to be any other famous author. Names escape me right now. But you just have to write. And it doesn't matter if anybody reads your writing, if you're doing it just for you or if you're doing it for mass consumption, it doesn't really matter. Find something you're interested in that you have ideas about and write it down. You never know. You might think you're doing it for yourself, and then you look back a while later and you got, 10, 12, 13,000 words. You reread it. You realize, hey, that sounds really good to me. This is something I would read if I hadn't written it. Then you might be onto something. So it is Saturday night here, which means one thing. I have a class tomorrow. But only, as far as I know, only one. Sometimes I have two. Oh, but I am adding daily, and I'll figure this out after I get the book done. I don't want to try to do too many things at once, but I'm going to add what I call half-hour power sessions in English. These are going to be very, very affordable, very cheap for anybody. And instead of a full 1 hour class, these are going to be for people who want to learn things quick. It's going to be kind of fast-paced. So it's not going to be for absolute beginners, but it's going to focus on speaking. And it's basically going to be them speaking for a half hour under my guidance and correcting their pronunciation and having them repeat it again and again until we get the whole conversation down. And I'm going to do a half hour a day for probably only like, I don't know, $10 a month or something. And hopefully that will go well, because I have time in the morning where I don't really do anything except check my email, check my Facebook, check my Instagram, and then I play around on traffic exchanges, promoting my links. But yeah, if I can get a few students in here for a half hour a day, the power half hour, I think I'll call it. I'll think of a name. You guys can help me think of a name. Whatever you think something like that would be. Just a half hour, very intense, no build up to anything else. Just boom, here's the conversation. Let's start. Have them talk to each other, have one-on-ones with me, repeat, go over the words they're having difficulty pronouncing, go over those more often. Because most of the time, most of the students here would prefer to learn just speaking over like grammar use, verb tenses, 8 parts of speech, things like that. Oh, glitch in the system. I like how YouTube sends me emails telling me that I'm live. I don't know what I would do without their constant source of knowledge. So man, I can't wait. There's only like less than 30 days until some friends are coming over from Australia. They're moving here. And if anybody's thinking about coming over between now and then, that would be awesome. We plan on having a big party, get everybody together from the channel and elsewhere. Go out, have a few beers, get something to eat, have a good time. Maybe do a collaboration or two while we're at it. That would be awesome. Second of all, I love listening to those Khmer horoscopes. He's really into the those kind of scammy things. Like he believes it. If this guy says your horoscope says you're going to make a lot of money, she gets all excited. If he says, oh, until you do this, you're probably not going to make money, then she's like saying, no, we have to do this. We have to do this. The man said, make money. And I'm like, no, that's not true. So what's everybody else doing on well, like I said, Saturday night for me, I'm assuming unless you're in Cambodia, it's probably Saturday morning for people back in the US, I think. At least in Eastern time zone, it should be about 9:30, something like that. Saturday morning on the East Coast. Hello, ill. Saturday morning. And hey, look, you're watching me instead of watching cartoons. I appreciate that. I would be sitting there with a bowl of cereal watching cartoons. One cool thing about being over here is that a while ago, I did a video talking about Voodoo. If you guys know what that is, it's a service that allows you to rent or buy movies. If you buy like a Blu-ray, you have a code inside for a digital download. You can go to Voodoo and enter it, so it'll be saved in one spot. So all my movies are saved basically on this platform. And when I got over here without thinking, it's a geo-restricted site, which means I can't access it here. So I got a VPN, and that worked to access the site. But because the VPN slowed down my already slow home internet connection, I still couldn't watch anything, right? Because it would just buffer, it just slowed it down. But that put me on a search, and I found a couple really good streaming apps on the Play Store that are compatible with my Chromebook here. So I was watching I've been watching some of my favorite TV shows, like in the background when I got other things to do. You're still plotting your Cambodia move. Yeah. Yeah, but I have to, I've been watching, some of my favorite shows are, of course, I think everybody's favorites, The Office, Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, Community. I don't know if there's any Community fans. Remember when that show was a thing? I still love it. Luckily, they have all those on these apps. And of course, The Good Place. Love The Good Place. So those are some of my favorite TV shows that I like to watch. And of course, they got all the movies. But some of the movies are not that great on these platforms because it's basically the old, some guy sitting in a movie theater with a real shaky camera and people getting up and you can hear people talking and eating popcorn. And the whole screen doesn't fit on his little camera. and it's kind of off kilter sometimes. I can't watch those. I mean, the obviously pirated, hacked movies, you know. Glad you and other YouTubers are easing the anxiety. Well, I'm glad I could help, man. It's like I said, there's a lot of great content out there about Cambodia. Going Nomad, aka Pigs on Bikes. He was here for 2 years before he went back. He has a lot of great content from that time. He is back here now, actually, teaching at the school he used to teach before that he was teaching at. But he hasn't done anything as far as vlogging yet. Just still getting into his routine, but he should be doing that soon. And living in the land of smiles. Oh, I'm going to butcher that name. Jimmy, if you're watching, I'm sorry. His name's Jimmy. He's a buddy of mine. He just started his YouTube channel. He's got one video up, which is basically just showing people what his intro to regular videos is going to be. But in my last video, regular video, if you look in the description, you'll find the link to his channel. And he's going to do a whole series starting from like now before he leaves and how he's preparing his move. And then, of course, he'll continue once he gets here pretty soon. So that would be a good one to subscribe to, because I didn't do any YouTube until I was actually here. And people had said previously, oh, I wish you would have started, like, tell me how to, you know, show me what you're packing, show me how you get rid of your stuff, show me your process before you left. And I never thought about that, because seriously, I thought this channel was going to get like, 20, 30 people and then fizzle out. I really, really, truly did not expect it to get up to 785. The Cheerios taste great. Lee says the Cheerios taste great. You must have seen my Facebook post. Yeah, because I don't mind I never care how many people are. If people want to come in here and not say anything, you can be a lurker, not say anything. That's fine. But I'm not wearing any underwear. Well, that's not good for my visual. That's not good for my visual, but I'm sure it's good for your nether regions, Lee. You should go underwearless as much as possible. You go that commando lifestyle. It's all hanging out. Well, if I see like some strange letters scrolling across the keyboard, I'm going to know what you're doing, buddy. What's the closest beach to Phnom Penh? I don't know. I don't know which one's the closest to Phnom Penh. The only one I really know of is Korang, I think it's called. I'm not even quite sure where that is. And a lot of people know about that now because of that British 21-year-old female backpacker that disappeared. And then she was found dead in the water on Korang Beach. So now it's getting attention for all the wrong reasons, but I heard about that before. I'm not a real big beach person. I've said that before. I like the beach. I get it. I get people, you're on a chair or something or laying on a towel on the sand. You got this beautiful blue sea or beautiful blue ocean in front of you, and it's beautiful and it's peaceful. Maybe you're underneath an umbrella. You got a drink over here. You're relaxing. I get it. But for me, it's only good for about 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm still looking at the same water, still looking at the same sand. I just get bored. I don't know what else to do. I'm not very good at just sitting down and not doing anything. I always have to be doing something. Oh, yeah. The airport's easy to navigate. A lot more so than some of the airports I went through to get here. The one in Bangkok, oh man, that one for me was that. It's pretty big, man. It's like the new one, not the older one. It's the newest one. I believe it was a newer one. That thing is huge. It's just huge, and they got signs everywhere, but they're kind of the signs they don't exactly. They kind of point in a direction, but there's like it could be this direction or that direction. They don't point exactly, so you're kind of guessing sometimes, and then backtracking, trying to find your gate and what floor is it on, and that was the worst. The one in Qatar, when I wound up in Qatar. That one was pretty straightforward. They actually had a room in there inside that you could smoke. It was actually the smoking room. And when you walked in, you knew why, because it would probably make you not want to smoke. I mean, not well ventilated, overflowing ashtrays everywhere. And it was almost packed with people trying to get that last cigarette before hitting their flight. The airport itself was fine, but security was horrible. It was just, maybe it's because it was New Year's Eve. They didn't have enough, but for the people they had, and only having like a couple people at the what do you call it? The immigration line or whatever that you have to go through. You know, you got to take everything out of your pockets and do all that. It just took a long, long time. Bird spotting on the beach. Of course, if you do that, Lily, and you have your special lady with you, you got to put on your sunglasses so she can't see the movement of your eyes. Because over here, that could be almost like a death sentence. Trust me, I know. If you, in my experience, that if you look at another woman for just too long, just a little bit too long, or smile, nod your head, you get one of these looks. And you know you just did something wrong. Yeah, you. Yeah. Yeah, she gives that look. And that's when you know you did something wrong. Hello. Can't see you that well, no lights, but still.
Hello, how are you?
Almost like a death sentence. I mean, you know you're not going to have a fun couple hours. Luckily, she gets over it pretty quick, and I have to explain. I was just being nice. You know, there's really like that fine line between like being nice is okay, but if they consider that you're being too nice, then it's a different story. That's something you got to learn, because I'm a very friendly guy anyway, and men and women. You know, I'll go up and talk to anybody, but you got to I have to kind of put that away here, because you know, even if I'm walking by and some woman says hello, I just have to kind of go, and then keep walking. Don't stop. Don't smile too big, because, oh, look, the lady said hello. Just keep going. Hey, Lee says hello. Lee.
Hello.
Yeah. He says hello, Sang Lai. He just saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she understands that we're live. I think she thinks I'm doing like a video, because I talk like this when I make my videos for my other channel, Make Money with Dave. And I don't think she understands the difference. Yeah, like she keeps saying, me no anglais. Me no anglais. She knows a little English. She actually knows more than she thinks she does.
No.
Yeah. So you understood that.
No,
But she just can't have a conversation. But when I met her, she knew none. So we sat down. She can tell you the days of the week and months of the year, and you know, she knows how to say something like she'll ask me, do you want to take a shower? And I know what she means. Or if she wants the air conditioner on or off, or the fan on and off, she'll point at it and go, on, off. So she knows enough words to kind of get a point across, which is always a good thing. So yeah, I got one class tomorrow. I believe he said from 5 to 6:30 he'll be here. My weekend guys, they're professionals. They come from Phnom Penh, and they study Saturdays and Sundays for 90 minutes each before they have to go back. They stay with family when they're here, but their hours are always changing because they do have family here and they do have other things going on. So sometimes he'll come at 9 in the morning till 10:30, sometimes 3 to 4:30, sometimes 5 to 6:30. But at least they're really, really good about messaging me and letting me know. So I'm not sitting there waiting at 9 o'clock in the morning and then they never show up. No, actually, tonight the internet's acting pretty good. Tonight the internet is acting pretty good, but normally no. 2 nights ago, I think it was 2 nights ago, I was making a video for my other channel, and I had to redo it 3 times because when I'm using my screen recorder and I'm getting through what I need to talk about, and the internet goes off, keeps getting disconnected. And of course, the video ends there. And with my screen recorder, because I'm using the free version, that's the end of the video, and then it starts processing it, but I'm not done. So I had to wait for it to process, delete it because it's not finished, and restart all over. I had to do that like 3 times the other day, going through saying the same thing over and over, same website over and over, till I finally got it right. But I am going to see about getting my own pretty soon anyway. Because it does get difficult sometimes, even on my Chromebook, if I have like more than 4 or 5 tabs open, even not ones you would consider to be that difficult for the internet, like not 4 or 5 streaming tabs, but just 4 or 5 regular tabs, then things get bogged down a little bit. It is frustrating. But again, it's one of those things, and when you move here, there's just some things you have to get used to. And I cover all that in my book. I talk, people wanted to know, like, what are some of the frustrating things that I'm going to experience? And that was one of the chapters I added because I wasn't going to write a chapter on the bad things about Cambodia. But, to be fair, there are some things over here that can be frustrating. And if you are of a certain attitude or mindset, if you have a certain personality type and you can't get past some of these things, as I write in the book, I suggest if you're like this is what's going to drive you nuts, and you might want to reconsider moving here. I think that's good to know for people. I mean, overall, my experience is very positive, as everybody knows. I love it here. But there are some things you definitely have to be careful of if you're of a certain personality type. And a lot of it has to do with how patient you are in certain situations. Because your patience will be tested here. Not intentionally, not like people are trying to piss you off, but there are going to be things that happen here you're not used to, and it's totally backwards from the way you're used to doing things. And it could be you have to exercise patience when trying to deal and acclimate with those things, I guess you could say. Also, I'm going to start thinking about starting a podcast. Got a program I'm going to use. It's free to use. You do your podcast, it automatically uploads it to all the services like, the Apple Store, Spotify, like 5 or 6 more. And what I'm going to do is just get different guests. I don't want to talk for like a half hour at a time. Just get different different expats in here and just talk to them about their experiences so you can get a wide range of uh, views from people other than me, people older than me, uh, people who teach, people who are retired, people older, people younger, maybe people who don't feel as positive about Cambodia as I do. Maybe they can shed some light on things that you might be interested in or be concerned about. I'll keep you updated on that. Like I said, right now the main thing is finishing the book, getting that out Friday. And like I said, I already started on my next one, so that's off to a good head start. And then I'll worry about the other stuff. Yeah, it's only a good idea because I was like, I don't know how to do a podcast. And then, as the internet is, I didn't even have to Google search. All I had to do was thinking. This is how great Google invade your mind. I was just thinking about it one day, and then all of a sudden in my email, I get one of them little emails at the top that didn't get sent. They're advertisements, and it says, "Do your podcast for free." And I was like, "Well, this is amazing." It was just a thought in my head. Google must have got deep inside there. And all of a sudden, here's an ad. So I checked it out. The website's called Anchor. And they allow you to do free podcasts. They even help you they help set you up with monetization if you want. I believe I do have to go and sign up for accounts as a podcaster with all those platforms. But once you upload it to Anchor, you have the choice of deciding when and where you want to send it for people to find it, but they do all that for free, so it's pretty cool. They do have a paid plan if you want to do it more. I believe the free plan you can do it once a week for 45 minutes. I may be mistaken about that, but I think you're allowed one podcast a week for up to 45 minutes or something like that. And then, of course, if you want to go to a paid monthly plan, you can. They have different tiers. But I only need once a week for 45 minutes. You hear my voice way too much than you should anyway. And I worry about your mental health for having to put up with that. Oh, get some beer. You lost the rugby. All right, good night, Lee. Sorry about the rugby, which is like, it's like football and WWE mixed together. You guys don't know what that is. To me, that's rugby. All right, good night, buddy. That's the best way I can describe it, man. I don't know anything about it. I saw a couple clips and I looked at some images when somebody mentioned a rugby league. And I was like, oh man, this is like football and wrestling mixed together. And they're doing something with a ball and they're all in a huddle and everybody's always dirty and grunting. I don't know. I'm not a sports guy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, next month is a Bonham Took, starting Saturday, a week from today. It's a big holiday here. It'll last from the 9th until the 12th. And it's where you have all the boat races up and down the river. Phnom Penh is going to be packed. They're expecting like 150,000 visitors, mainly fellow Khmer people coming in just for the festival. Because it's a big celebration. It's also like a Buddhist holiday also. But what I like is that like here in Siem Reap, you got the boat races and you got elbow to elbow people, and most of River Road is blocked off from traffic, and it's nothing but vendor after vendor after vendor after vendor. People selling all kinds of things, man. Almost anything is like a big, one of the local markets here, except bigger. And they sell things that you don't see often here, like different kinds of food you can only get during special times or special events. And it's hard not to go up and down the street and just one of this and one of this and wind up with a stomach ache because you just want to eat so much. It's a pretty fun time. Last year was really, really fun. Despite all the people, it was fun. So I can't wait till next weekend and see that all again.
People are going short and passport. Hello, how are you? We are just shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We are changing.
Hey, you can talk. I'll go out and have a smoke. You can talk.
David the word to Parai.
Yeah, you can talk.
David I am the
Ah. My butt's getting sweaty. So you gotta go like this. Sweaty. Saet.
David
Saet. Saet means sticky. So like when you're sticky from sweat, just say saet.
Cambodia at
Saet. And butt.
what?
Butt.
What?
Yeah. Come on.
Good. Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good saet.
Good.
Good saet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep. Come on.
Sticky butt.
Yeah. Good. Come on. Yeah. Chị lên bàn tay từ
Yeah, guys, I finally got my fan fixed. We also got some mango from the guy down the street. But here, as you can see, that fan finally. It had a long time ago, and it was out of commission for a few months. Finally got it fixed.
Cô mình nơi trong riêng pizza ông lê David Prin ông lê hay one man 25 David trong cô bay cô
Oh.
yeah chui David ban Mali Chidai David have passport passport làm passport
I'm not going home.
hello 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 my name is Tương Lai David Smoke
Close the door so we don't get bugs. Yeah.
No.
No bugs.
Yeah.
I don't want bugs. Pesky flying critters. Oh, that's not gonna work. Right over here. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know if that's better or not. Let me got some moisture over here. Don't want to set my Chromebook in the water. So yeah, like I said, I'm also going to start teaching at Wat Bo Pagoda Monday. I went there twice actually. Oh, it looks like the Ring movie. Hey, Luke. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, John, all the way from Australia. I do a really bad accent. Horrible accent. But yeah, that's the channel I was telling you guys about before, right there, Living the Land of Smiles. That was the name of it. There's a link in my last video I just uploaded earlier today. You can click that, subscribe to his channel. And we'll be putting out some good content soon. It does kind of look like the Ring movie. Like I said, we finally got the fan fixed. The fan had broken months ago, and it never got fixed. Landlord came up today and fixed it. And next, hopefully, will be the lights, because we only got 2 of the small ones that work. So at night, and with the quality of the camera on a Chromebook, the quality is really crap, I know. But just think, one day I'll do this, all the lights will be working. Then it'll all be good. But that's why she looked like she was in the movie. Plus, whenever she goes out, she always has her hair up in a bun. She always does the whole bun thing. So when you're seeing her on video, she's either always got a hat on, or it's in a ponytail, or she got her hair up. Yeah, if you guys didn't watch the video, what happened was I went to get my hair cut, and it was getting kind of long and unruly. And while I was there, I had a good amount I always had a goatee and a mustache, but the sides and the bottom were getting hairy. And I decided I would just have him shave it instead of me going to buy razors and doing it myself. And I made a motion with my hand for the beard and mustache, right? Because it was kind of getting shaggy. And I went like this, but I said trim, trim, trim. And of course, there's hair flying around while he's doing the side. So I'm sitting there with my eyes closed. And the next thing I know, I feel this zip. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nothing you can do now because it's already half gone, except finish, right? That's about all you can do. He understood this, but obviously there was miscommunication with the word trim. He just shaved. And then I figured go ahead and do the mustache too, so it all grows back evenly. Yeah, she does, man. She was telling me the other day, she goes, yeah. Law means good. Law no. Very good.
Yeah.
And then she made a gesture like, outlaw, no good. Yeah, she's like, yeah, me law. But I don't like it. There's been very few times in my life where I've been completely shaved. Very, very few. So you guys are seeing something even people that knew me for years and years back in the United States have never seen. You're the lucky few. Luckily, two things about that. First, it's just hair, so I didn't get upset. Second, they did a good job with the haircut. A lot more manageable. Looks good because this parts over here were sticking up and it was curling up in the back, and the top was just flopping around doing its own thing. So they did a great job on the haircut. And second of all, my hair grows back really fast. My facial hair really does grow back fast. I mean, it's only been a couple days and it's already coming back. Within 2 weeks, nobody will even remember I didn't have a beard or a mustache. But she likes it better that way, but I'm not going to keep it. Well, one good thing about the haircut, though, is that normally I wear a hat everywhere, not just for the sun, but also, like I said, because normally my hair is like, if the wind catches it a little bit, it just stays wherever the wind catches it. It never falls back into place. You can never do anything with it. But if I keep it short, if I keep it cut, which I'm really poor at, I won't have to wear a hat everywhere all the time. But it was, the haircut's only $2, and the shave was only an extra 50 cents. And actually, I got more than I bargained for, so there's something good there. Because I was going to give him 50 cents just to do the sides and underneath the neck. Wound up doing it all, so.
Khnyom châu chặt.
Yeah.
Khnyom tơ lanh.
We went to the market earlier, Sasamaki, up on Highway 6. Got some really, really good fish. I don't know what kind it was. It wasn't, these are like fish steaks almost. They were already cut into like steaks. I don't know what variety they were though. Because normally when you buy them here, they come with the heads and the tails. And then you just fry them. But these ones didn't have any bones or anything. They fried up real nice. Had it with some sauce and some rice. It was really good. Gonna have to go back and get some more. Wasn't that expensive. Hello, Ed. Thank you, sir. I did it just for you, buddy. But yeah, Monday I go back and I start actually teaching at Wat Bo Pagoda. What had happened was, I talked to the guy, the person there in charge of teaching, and she said I was supposed to go Tuesday. So we went there Tuesday. It was supposed to be from 5:30. So we went there, got my teaching clothes on, I got the markers, I got the pens, got my backpack filled with paper in case they need it. I don't know what kind of supplies they have. We get there and the place is closed, never opens. 6 o'clock comes around, still nobody there, doors are locked. So she calls him on the phone, and then he talks to me and said, no, I told her November 1st. I was like, oh, okay, it's not the 1st yet, November 1st. She had made a mistake. But I thought, no problem. So, of course, that was yesterday. And this is what he told me, November 1st. So I do the whole thing over again. Go up there at 5:30. See lots of motorbikes out front. The doors are open. There's 2 women signing in students at the desk. And neither of them know English. So Sangladi's talking to him back and forth. And come to find out, they don't want me to start until Monday. And I kind of figured they wouldn't want me to start on a Friday, unless it was just for like an hour introductory kind of thing. Like, I'm going to be your new teacher. Here's my name. You can ask me some questions if you think of any. But there was nothing. They wanted me to wait until Monday. Luckily, they did give me a kind of a rundown of who and what they want me to teach. So that was pretty helpful. Should be a pretty fun class. They get kids from the Watbo area and bring them in, and they actually make it. They actually run out of space sometimes, so they have to wait till they get another volunteer English teacher to come in and teach before they start any new classes. So when I went in the very first time a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and talked to them about it, told them what I wanted to do with my students and kind of mixing them all together. At the end of it, he goes, "Yeah, give me some time. Next month you'll start, and I'll go out and I'll get the students and all that good stuff." So it should be pretty fun because I enjoy teaching. I know a lot of people do it. It's a job, but I really enjoy it. Something I like because it's kind of like a challenge to get those moments, when you're teaching something and you realize that there are students, they have no idea what you're talking about. And you can see it in their eyes after a while. You can recognize which ones are going, "Oh, okay, yeah, I understand it," and which ones are really struggling. And so you change tactics. You go do different lessons, but introducing the same subject. And then when you see the ones that are struggling the most, and finally that light comes on in their eyes, that recognition, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, now you did it this way. Now I understand exactly what you meant and why we had to say it like this, write it like this, whatever." That's a pretty good feeling. And I know there's a lot of negativity, especially about people coming here to teach. I don't know why that's a thing on the internet, why all the negativity toward people teaching English, but I think part of it is because everybody seems to know someone who tried to abuse the system or do something with the system they weren't supposed to do. A lot of them come over here and they don't really care about teaching. They got a $10 TEFL course off Groupon. They didn't really learn anything from it, so they're ill prepared for everything that's going to be involved in teaching. And so they fail miserably, and they don't really do the students any favors by not knowing what they're doing. Just because you know anything, just because you have knowledge of some kind, does not mean you're qualified to teach that thing. Teaching something you know to somebody is a whole different skill set than just knowing it yourself, which is no exception, right? You do have to know it. You have to know it really, really well. But you also have to have that second skill set in knowing how to get that knowledge that's in your head that you easily understand and make sure the students are understanding. So I kind of like that challenge. It's another reason why I really like teaching. And people who ask, "Oh, if you can make $2,000 a month doing, it didn't have to work, would you not teach anymore?" My answer is always no. I would still teach. I would actually probably teach more because I wouldn't be restricted by asking for donations so I can get more students. $2,000 a month, I would spend 5-6 hours a day probably teaching for free. Hey, David Cook. Hey, David.
Good night.
No, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, new person. Well, he's not new. He's used. You're only new once in your life. That's when you're born. People ask me, "Are you new here?" No, I'm used. No, Luke, I do not plan on moving back. I'm a lifer. And I think that's the other thing with teaching, but that I was talking about just a couple of minutes ago, is that there are people, younger people mainly, who get a good TEFL, but they want to see more than one part of the world. They want to travel to different countries and use that TEFL certificate as a way to fund their travels by staying in a country for 6 months to a year, saving money from their salaries and moving on to the next country. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is a great way to travel, I think. And it beats, living off your, trust fund, right? You're contributing to the societies and the cultures you're visiting, and that's awesome. But there's not a lot of permanency to that, which is good for people like me who came here to live, because I realize that if, you can't get a job this month, go back next month. Somebody's contract will be up, right? The school's going to be looking. And if you keep in contact with the schools that you've already applied for every month or every 6 weeks, send them another email, or better yet, grab a tuk-tuk or walk and just stop in. Pretty soon you'll be recognizable. They'll realize you really want the job, and there's a good chance you'll get it the next opening that comes up over some random person that they've never seen before. So following up is always a good idea. Yeah, David, I know I'm sitting in the dark. I went over that. We got our fan fixed today, finally. Got a new working fan again in the apartment, but only 2 small working lights. The big light doesn't work, and I don't have any other source of lights except my lighter if I wanted to sit here and, like I was at a Pink Floyd concert when they played Wish You Were Here. But like I said, I have to do this at nights because the people that want to watch, if I did it at 2:00 in the afternoon, it's 1:00 in the morning, or sometimes 4:00 in the morning in some places. Everybody's probably sleeping or out or doing something else. So I stay up late to try to get as many people as if they want to, as many people to come in as I can. Bar pines and power lines. Is that a podcast? That sounds like a good name for a podcast, actually. Bar pines and power lines. Still haven't thought of a name for my podcast. I don't know what I want to call it yet. But it's just going to be me talking to other expats from all different kinds of backgrounds, countries, and their experiences here for about a half hour at a time. Oh, okay, from Thailand. Pattaya. So the name's already taken. I was just thinking, wow, that's a good name. I'll have to think of something snappy. I know like I said, the service I'm going to use for the podcast is free, and they upload it to all the major podcast things. I'll let you guys know the details. Once my book is done, then I'm going to focus on other things, of course. But I still haven't thought of a name. Maybe I'll have a contest on the channel. I think I'll do that. I'll just have a contest on the channel. Have everybody give me their best suggestions. Then I'll pick the one that I think fits best. Sounds like a good plan. I was thinking about putting on a nice shirt, but then I realized it's going to be dark anyway. Nobody's going to pay attention. You see me wearing a lot of the same clothes that are way too big for me now since I lost all that weight since being here. But I got a closet. In that closet, in that wardrobe right there, is a lot of clothes I brought with me from the U.S. And really, I probably wear 3 or 4 t-shirts all together, right? And a couple dress shirts. I don't. All the rest of my clothes are just sitting in there, not getting any use. Got a whole stack of t-shirts I brought with me, and I wear the same ones over and over and over. Because believe it or not, Single actually washes clothes by hand, and she does it pretty much every day. Whenever there's like a pair of underwear and a t-shirt, at some point she'll scrub it, hang it out to dry. And then when I take a shower and I'm going to change, I just grab what's out there that's already dried. So it's the same cycle of the same things over and over and over again. And I tell her, if she just lets laundry go for a week, I can start wearing some of my other t-shirts. They'll be accessible. See them reap next summer. Nice. So you still got some time. Like you're talking like August, July. Try to get here before my birthday. We'll have a party. My birthday is July 30th. And then you can buy me beer and mock me for being old. That's what birthdays are for. Yeah, I just wish I would have gotten some advice about what I should bring with me before I came here, because I really, really overpacked. I mean, knowing, what I know now compared to then, hindsight, it's like I didn't need a whole lot of the stuff I packed. Didn't need it. Some of it I haven't used since I've been here, and yet still sitting in the closet. Bangkok in January, then back to the UK, then Cambodia. Nice. How long are you going to be in Bangkok? If I went to Thailand, I think I would go. What's the name of it? It's the name of a town, obviously, but it's not. It's not a big town. It's not Pattaya. It's not Bangkok. There's a pretty big YouTuber who lives there doing his thing. I haven't heard from him in a while though. I can't remember anything to even give you guys a hint, but he's always doing kind of what I do here in Siem Reap. He's walking around and showing his town, and I always said that looks like a really nice town. I'd like to go there one day. What is the name of it? Now that's going to drive me crazy. I'm trying to think of what his channel is called. He's an American. He was married before he got divorced. He married a Thai woman. She's been back to the United States with them, and now they're living in Thailand. He's staying with her family. They have a big house. He does live Q&A sometimes. But he lives in a town, and it's kind of like right by an ocean, and seems to be really, really nice. And I said if I ever go to Thailand, I want to visit there. 4 days in Bangkok, the beach somewhere. 6 weeks total. Nice. So you're going to see more than just, you're not just coming here for, a few days and then heading back. That's nice. Because I know people who, they go on holiday and they have like a week off from work, and sometimes they don't plan. They don't plan on how long the flight's going to be, because you're losing like a day and a half if you go cheap, right? 30, 36 hours with the layovers. So by the time you get there, and then you got the same amount going back, you've actually only got 2 or 3 days. You don't actually have the whole week. Denmark. Steen. Hello, Steen from Denmark. Volbeat. I hope I corrected. They're Danish. I hope they don't wind up being Swedish, because then I'm going to start a war, like East Coast, West Coast. Volbeat is one of my favorite rock bands. In fact, they just came out with a new video for one of their singles from their brand new album that just came out. And that thing rocks. It's pretty good. It's got the lead singer of Clutch as a special guest on it. Sounds good. Really good. Hey, Moonlight. The Water Festival is in 1 week. It starts on 9th of November, which is next Saturday, and it goes until the 12th. But I've been seeing the boats. They've been practicing up and down the Siem Reap River, the nice colorful boats with, 15, 20 people in there rowing at the same time. They've been practicing, trying to win that top prize. My next video, as a matter of fact, the one I made it earlier, but I'm going to upload it either tomorrow or the day after. I'll show you how they got everything they're setting everything up, the big VIP stage, and they got all the lights on the bridges up, and they're just working making the place really nice, because it's going to be packed with people in about a week. Everybody's going to be here. Yeah, but surely you guys have heard of Volbeat, right? No, April is Khmer New Year. Now, Khmer New Year does involve a lot of water fights, water guns everywhere. Like for a week, you can't walk down the street without getting soaked, without getting sprayed with water. Yeah, that's Khmer New Year. That's like the really big party holiday here. But the water festival, this one in November, is called Bonam Tup. And that's the official water festival. That's the time of year when the tunnel sap reverses. And if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize, but it reverses the flow of the river. So it's going in the opposite direction. And so it's a time for them to do rituals. And it's a Buddhist festival to bring good luck for the fishing season. And it unofficially marks the beginning of dry season and high season. High season is, of course, tourist season, which is what businesses in towns like Siem Reap, Phnom Penh, and Battambang, they rely on high season to get them through, make enough money to get them through low season when there's not a lot of tourists coming in. Plus, it signifies the end of the rainy season. The big festivals are in Phnom Penh. They expect to have, like I said, about 150,000 visitors extra just for the festival. I actually got an alert from the U.S. Embassy, because I signed up for their emails, saying if you're going to be in Phnom Penh during the water festival, to be extra cautious. Don't get involved in any demonstrations of any kind. If you feel threatened, seek out the local authority, all the standard stuff. Watch your valuables, because pickpocketing goes up, bag snatchings, phone snatchings, they all go up, petty crime. And they just warn you to use a little extra caution because of all the extra people. Unlike that with Thailand, I was in Thailand twice, David. Once at the airport in Bangkok, which I had just enough time to run to my next plane so I could catch my 1 hour flight here. And the second time was when I had to do my visa run, my border run at Poi Phet. I waited in that damn line for 2.5 hours, man. It was a long, boring line just to get through. As soon as I got into Thailand, yep. Remember that movie Vacation with Chevy Chase, the original, when they're at the Grand Canyon finally? But he's got to go because he just stole all that money. Puts his arm around his wife, goes, let's go. That's what I did in Thailand. Just went, nice. Right back into Cambodia. Because it was not a good experience. I don't know how people can do that all the time. Some people have lived here for a long time, and every month or every few months they'll do a border run to renew their visa because they don't have the proper one. So they have to leave and start all over. I don't know why you would want to put yourself through that all the time. That was just, once was enough, man. That was brutal. Danish isn't really a language. It's a throat disease. I just didn't want to mix up where the band originated from because I wanted to give the proper due to Volbeat. I believe they're Danish, though. I think. Look them up on YouTube. Just search Volbeat. And I couldn't quite remember. I knew they were. I couldn't quite remember which country they were from. I don't think it was Sweden, though. I'm pretty sure it was Denmark. Just as bad as the English. I do know one guy here from Sweden. He's Swedish. I see him every so often walking around. He's got a disease and he needs special medication he can't find here. So once a month he's got to go to Phnom Penh and get it. And he's always complaining about that. Why they don't have it in Siem Reap? I don't know, man. I don't know why. Luke. Thank you, Luke. Yes, they are Danish. So I got something right. Volbeat's probably the only band I've seen more than twice in concerts. I saw them 3 times in concerts. 2 times in 1 year when they came by my area back in the States, 2017, before I left here. Then the last concert I went to before I came to Cambodia was just about, I don't know, like a month before I left or something. I think it was in December. It was the Butcher Babies. I always wanted to see them live, so I finally got that chance. Swedes are magic. Oh, they do have one of the, every year they're considered like one of the happiest, if not the happiest country on earth by whoever does those polls every year. I guess they have a happiness index. They're always near the top. So I guess they must be doing something right. I never really had a desire to go see it, but or to go to Sweden or anything. I mean, they do have some beautiful scenery, obviously. It's a very beautiful country from what I've seen on other people's YouTube channels. But I'm trying to avoid anywhere that is cold for the rest of my life. Yeah, I've been a huge Butcher Baby fans for since their EP. Remember when they used to go on stage and they used to sing when they were topless except for some electrical tape over their nipples. That's how they would perform live. The two lead singers are females, obviously, and then the guys, the dudes, they just play the instruments. But I was a fan of theirs not because of that aspect, but because I liked what they were doing. I was actually glad when they still dress like hot rocker chicks, I guess you can say, but it's toned down from when they first started. I actually like that because I knew with that gimmick, that was going to be their thing. Oh, those are the chicks with the electrical tape over their nipples, right? Instead of focusing on the music, they were going to focus on these are two hot chicks that are basically almost naked on stage. So I was glad that they got out of that and finally made a name for themselves because of their music rather than just a gimmick. Yeah, I think you're right, David. I absolutely believe that. I think it's mainly people are good, and I think it's the few bad ones that get the most attention that people focus on, or else they're the loudest out of the bunch, and so people tend to focus more on that, and they get the idea that all these people must be like that. I know America's got a real bad reputation in some parts of the world for us being loud and obnoxious, and you ask some people in some parts of the world, what do they think of when they think of Americans? And they're going to talk about, yelling and fighting and guns and things like that. And I have to explain, no, that's a certain section, but it's certainly not the majority, Yeah, I think people just need to chill out more. Believe it or not, here in Cambodia, and anybody that's been here will tell you, it's very chill. People just, as long as you're not bothering them, they don't really care. If you're weird, different, whatever, you're not breaking the law, you're not causing any problems, it's all good. And yet, they do not have a word in Khmer for chill out. They don't have the equivalent phrase in their language for chill out. Because sometimes Lai will get excited and hyper about something. She overthinks things sometimes. She doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. If we get low on cash or something, she'll panic. Like, oh my God, we don't have no money. And start coming up with really weird ideas. Get money. I'm like, no, I got this. I just need to wait for this date and we'll be good. But I try to tell her to chill out, but there's no word for that in Khmer. I always tell people she's a really good person, but she's kind of a bad Buddhist because I'm like, if you need meditation right now, not medication, meditation, your religion, meditate. Go sit in a pagoda. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Empty your mind. Live in the now. Whatever all that involves. Well, they kind of do, but it's not an exact interpretation. Basically, it just means you need to relax, which, of course, that's what chill out means. But I mean, the phrase itself is just, to me, it sounds better. You need to relax or chill out, man. All right? I prefer chill out, man. Just chill. It'll be okay. Well, like I said, that can be challenging for some people, learning how to chill out here. because we, back in America anyway, you spend all your life doing the exact opposite. You're always thinking ahead, thinking ahead, thinking ahead, thinking ahead. You're basically doing one thing just so you can get it done so you can go to the next thing. You're not doing anything except with that purpose in mind. And that creeps over sometimes into your personal life. Like you go to work, it's like, okay, I got to do 8 hours, but all the time at work, I would always think, okay, after work, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And so it felt like my personal life was almost like another job that I wasn't getting paid for because I had no chill. Because, of course, kind of raised that way. Like you got to hustle, you got to go for it, you got to always be moving, you got to always be doing this and this and this. But then you come over here and after a while, you accept the chill. Accept the chill. Name for our podcast? Accept the chill. Maybe? I don't know. But it does work because over here you can be doing things like I would never, like if I knew I had something I should be doing online, I should be promoting something online, make more money. I would never just stop just to go for a walk with no place in particular to go, right? If I did something back home, it was for a purpose. Like if I'm going here, it's because I had something to do here. I didn't go just to go. But over here, more often than not, it's just like, want to go for a walk? Yeah, let's go for a walk. Nobody says, where do you want to go? Or why do you want to go for a walk? What do you want to do? It's just, I don't know, let's just walk. Free, doesn't cost anything. It's a nice night. And I would have never thought about doing that back home. To me, that concept was crazy. And I try not to think when I'm out and about, like, I try. Sometimes it still creeps in, like, man, what am I doing out here? I should be doing this back home online. Pub Street. Yeah, Pub Street is, believe it or not, it's rowdy, and especially later at night or early in the morning. After all, well, not that the people aren't decent that stay there, because I've had my fair share of nights down there, but decent people have already left and they're in bed at a decent time. Let's say anytime after 10 o'clock, 10:30, then things start ramping up a little bit more. Before then, it is, even though it's kind of, it can be rowdy. It's kind of a chilled kind of rowdy. Like you're not afraid of a fist fight breaking out at any time. After 10, 11 o'clock, alcohol's been flowing since 7, maybe earlier. Then things start getting a bit more intense, I guess you could say. The chill starts to leave a little bit. Because you know how drunk people are. It's just inevitable that eventually somebody's going to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. Somebody's going to take offense. That kind of thing. But I do like Pub Streets, and I've never had any problems down there myself. I've never been involved in a fight. I did see me and my buddy Rod, we were sitting down at a bar called Drinks, DRY, down on Sucksand Road. They have an outside area with some tables, and we were sitting out there chilling, and there's a bar across the street, and we see a Khmer woman and a foreigner come out of the bar, and they are yelling at each other. Now, I don't know where the foreigner was from. I think it was France, because he was speaking English, yelling English, I should say, but in an accent of some kind. I think it was French. I don't know. But, and they were just yelling and yelling, and everybody's wondering, ooh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Now, you see that sometimes, and nothing ever happens. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just reaches out and just smacks her across the face. Like she didn't touch him. She just smacked her across the face. Now, of course, he's drunk. There were some Khmer guys sitting at the table next to us. One of them got up, ran across the street, started punching this guy. He was so drunk and out of it, he didn't seem to understand what was going on. The Khmer friends pulled the other Khmer man off of him. And this dude, this foreign dude, he stumbles over to his motorbike. He's going to go to leave. Now, at that point, it should have been done, right? That should have been the end of it. Let him leave. You got the Kamai, man, he's being held back by his friends. Let the foreigner get out of here. Calm down the situation. The problem was the Kamai woman did not want to do that. She came over with her heels on, kicked him in the leg, which made him hop off his bike and start yelling and screaming. And then she kicked his bike over and then started stomping on it with her high heels, trying to break things off. And he tried to go for her again, but by that time there was enough people out where other people were holding him back. Oh, no, don't do that, don't do that. And then her friends came over and finally pulled her off. And finally, after a lot of hoo-ha and a lot of rumbling and, yelling and screaming, he finally got on and drove off into the sunset. So things like that do happen. It can turn from chill to that really quickly. I do like walking here, yes. Hey, Chris. Sorry, I didn't see you come in, man. Thanks. It is a little less shaggy. I look almost human. Yeah, Bangkok airport is hectic. It's like very confusing for me because the signs were pointed in a general direction, but not a specific direction. So I was like, it's pointing kind of that way, but I'm seeing two different ways I can go that way. So I'm not really sure which one. Just kind of guess. Yeah. But I mean, if I would have had more time, the thing was I had to immediately leave the plane when it arrived in Bangkok and get to my next plane, which was flying here, because I missed my flight in Qatar. And so I was supposed to have an 8-hour layover in Bangkok, but instead I accidentally had an 8-hour layover in Qatar until I could catch the next flight to Bangkok. So when I finally got there, I had a nice Thai lady that worked for the airline. She had a sign with my name on it right off the plane, not off the walkway. Like as soon as the doors opened to the walkway, she had that sign, my name on it. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. And she was like, you come with me, you come with me. And we were running. And I'm looking at signs like, it's supposed to be over here. Should we go over here? And I'm going over there. And she's not quite sure where to go. So we're trying to figure this out. But eventually we make it. They actually held the flight for me for an extra 10 minutes till we could go all the way across that airport. She didn't even bring a sweat. That's the thing. I'm sweating like a pig. I got my backpack. Or two backpacks, and I got my heavy winter jacket on because I don't want to carry it. Because when I left Michigan, it was, January. It was freezing. So I'm sweating. My pants are falling down because I didn't put a belt on, and I have to keep adjusting my pants. I got the backpacks, one in front, one in back. Oh, it was a mess. But that was pretty nice of them, I thought, to have somebody waiting. I wish you would have known exactly where she was going because we took a couple of wrong turns. And like I said, the signs there are not pointing exactly where you have to go. It could be one or two options. So a little bit confusing for me. But then again, you got to realize I have not flown anywhere since I went to Germany in my early 20s in the military. And I'm 56 now. So, we're talking more than 30 years since I'd been on an airplane. So I didn't know how any of it worked, the procedures, because the military took care of all that stuff, to fly me over to Germany and back. Other than that, I had no idea. So I was just doing my best as a first timer, alone, not knowing what I was doing, trying to get through it all. Yeah, the dogs are pretty docile here. They do, exactly. Shy away from humans. Some of them do like to bark, yes. And they'll give you a growl before. They won't just attack. They'll give you a growl first to let you know if you're overstepping your boundaries. But most of the time, they're just indifferent to humans. They just don't care about you. You leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. They're indifferent. They never really felt like human contact in a loving way. So you're going to reach your hand like you would a dog back home is going to get you bit because they'll see it as a threat. They're not used to people petting them or anything like that. The ones, if you call a dog and he comes up to you, do the whole thing, let him sniff your hand and then slowly go behind, give him a pet. But if he doesn't come up to you, don't go chasing him or don't try to force your way into his comfort zone. That would be bad. Sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. What made me come to Cambodia? Well, in the first place, like I said, I was going to move to Thailand until I found out to legally teach there, you need a bachelor's degree, and along with your TOEFL. So I started checking out places you didn't need that, and I look, Cambodia is right next to Thailand. If I want to visit, I can. Don't need a bachelor's degree. That's a short story. How I came to want to move entirely is different. And unfortunately, I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger because Sanglai wants to go to sleep, so I got to turn off this light. So I have to go, guys. But I do appreciate you all showing up, coming in for your comments. We'll do this again in a couple, 3 days. And by then, we'll have some extra lights, so it won't be so dark and moody. And I might have some surprises for you next time. As always, don't forget the links down below. Want to buy my book, just donate $10. Either go to the webpage, road-to1000.siterubiks.com. Donate there if you want to read about it. You can do that. Or just use the PayPal button below, the link. All goes to the same place. I'll have your email. You'll get my book, Live in Cambodia, a guide for living in the Kingdom of Wonder, next Friday, right into your mailbox. It'll be ready for you if you do that. And also all my other Make Money with Dave YouTube channel down below and my blog. Top Digital Review is the link for that is down below. All right. Thank you, everybody. And I will talk to you guys soon. Everybody have a good weekend.